$500. Jim on your left side knocks on your door again. Hey, Alex, we're flying over to Zurich for the weekend. Going to have breakfast. Do you want to come? You're there? Sure, I can squeeze it in. Well, you're going to watch Jim on your left side closer than a hawk waiting for what's going to happen next. Bob, you cringe if you think he's going to knock on your door. You don't even want to think about him. Government constantly keeps taking more and more and more, and they have the public cringing. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want anything to do with it. I'll pay my divvy and forget about it until next year. And they kept perpetuating their game over and over again. And the tens of thousands of people involved within the syndicate, and it is a syndicate, a corporate syndicate, sat there smiling and laughing every single day all the way down to the bank.
Now remember, folks, this is not speculation. We're building a website. There are dozens of other websites of people that have copied Walter's expose, which Walter's actually happy about. So you type in CAFR into the net, Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, thousands of links will pop up. 98% of them are government bragging. Here's our Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. Counties, cities, water districts, the feds bragging about how they own 70+% of Xerox, how they own most of Ford, how they own most of Dell, how they own most of Coca-Cola, all of these publicly traded companies. It's a sick joke. So when you see that, I wanted to let folks be aware of exactly what that means so that they'll be able to write down.
Back when Microsoft was having problems with the court, the head of the New York State Retirement Pension Fund for the state employees came forward saying, we think Microsoft is a good company and we're not going to sell off our 78 million shares of Microsoft. You know, in Texas, I think it was Austin or Houston, the Board of Education last year, or about 2 years ago, Disney had made an objectionable film.
Austin,
and the Board of Education said, we're going to divest ourselves of our multi-million-dollar holding in Disney. And the public's saying, what are you doing with $40, $35 million in Disney? How much do you have in other stocks? You know, the bottom line is we left the vault door open, and a runaway freight train just started building up more steam, more momentum. And it's a law of physics that an object in motion will stay in motion unless acted upon by an equal and formidable force to slow it down. And the good point here, Alex, they implemented this program in 1945. It took off steam full force in 1980. And in that time period, you'll see the growth within government probably 4, 5, 6, 7, 800% in some cases. And they built a phenomenal...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back live. We've got Walter Berian on the line with us. We're going to recap who Walter Berian is, how he got involved in this, and exactly what we're talking about, and then launch into some case point examples of this biggest game in town. I would suggest that everybody out there tape this show, spread the word. This is real news, one of the top 10 stories of the century. We just keep bringing it to you over and over again. To boil it down for you, simply, the government is running gigantic surpluses. But like Walter Berian says, when is there really a surplus? If the Roman Empire had 1 million slaves, they could always use 1 million more. The wino's got 2 bottles of Ripple. It's not a surplus. He wants more. They can't stop. The state of Texas has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars in surplus. Total and complete surplus. This is the 1999 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. In the 1998 one, it clearly shows $435 billion surplus. Also shows numbers around that in the 99 version. Anybody can get this from the comptroller. If they try to refuse, Walter Berian will tell you places where you can. It's free of charge. Everybody should know. Go to the library. They'll have these. But you never hear about it in the press. You never hear about it in the media. You never learned about it in economics in college, did you? You heard about the budget, the budget, the budget. Going back to an analogy. I make $1,000 a week. I tell my wife I'm only making $100 a week. She sees me on the personal computer doing my budget on Quicken, QuickBooks, whatever. I tell her, honey, you're going to have to get a second job. We spent $150 this week. We're $50 over budget. Oh, dear, we'll lose the house. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, we'll lose the new car. Oh, dear, we won't be able to go see the family at this Christmas back in Chicago. Meanwhile, I'm going, because I've got 900 extra a week I'm socking away. And that number goes up. I made $1 million a week, and I only told you about 100,000. It'd be the same if I made $1 billion a week, and I only told you about a couple million of it. It would be the same if I made $1 trillion a week, and I only told you about a couple billion of it. And we have these huge discussions and media debates, and it was in the Statesman a few days ago that Texas Rainy Day Fund only has a few million in it, 80-something million. We need tax increases if a recession is coming. It's all about control when the state of Texas, in their own books, public record, but the media is so controlled, are running gigantic surpluses. The state of Texas, all the 50 states, every county, every city, every water district, school districts, they're all in business, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking to Walter Burien. Walter, recap.
What you just said there, I just thought of the perfect story from the past. Going back 10 years ago, Jim Florio, when he got elected on his no new tax platform and then had a $2.8 billion tax increase, he decided to go on a 2-week tour of the state every day, stopping at a new location and talking to the public. As the incorporator of Hands Across New Jersey, the largest tax protest group in the state, I managed to get down to his first location. It was Pete's Deli in Hamilton Township. Now, they had arranged for the entire syndicated media to be there. ABC was there, CBS, NBC, CNN, 150 reporters. And I sat down with Jim Florio and his wife at the table to have lunch for 45 minutes. We talked. Every network camera was hovered in over our heads. 150 reporters with handheld recorders going, shoved in all around the table.
And you were a top Security and Exchange
commodity trading advisor.
Yeah, commodity trading, big company up there doing a national deal. You took the challenge, a local talk show host, to talk about abuse, found out that the budget isn't 1/10 of the story. You've had this big rally, 115,000 people downtown. You're starting to learn about this stuff, and you're sitting there talking to the governor.
It's the governor, his wife, and myself, with every single reporter and every single camera trained on us. And I used this one example. I said, Governor Florio, myself as a financial advisor, if I had a stock issuance and I sold 100% of the stock in my company, and I made a $10 million profit this year, and I disclosed to my shareholders I made a $1 million profit, number one, that's misrepresentation. Number two, it's fraud. Number three, I'd be in jail. I said the state of New Jersey is conducting business as usual, doing the exact same thing, and they've enacted statutes to allow them to do what would be totally illegal for a public corporation to do. Now, I thought he'd try to skate around a response to that and go off in a different area. All the reporters are sitting there up on their toes going, ooh, 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 ooh. And Florio's response, I did not believe it. He looked back at me and said, I know. I've been trying to do something about that. They never let him out in public again. They canceled his entire tour, and not one word in the media.
Now, I've called around. The media gets the county, the city, the state, the federal. The newspaper, the Statesman here in town, every year gets a stack of these from around the country.
And they have for 25 years.
Why would the major networks and the major newspapers, why do they want these? Why do they get these, but don't tell us about them?
Because they are in 100% partnership with the game. When I learned this 10 years ago, that was my question. I was a commodity trading advisor, did a national news line, right in the middle of New York, in the hub of things. I never once heard of the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, and I said to myself, why? Did I not hear it on a TV show, the evening news, a talk show? Zilch, nothing. And here is the Holy Grail, the Bible of accounting for governments. My first step was I called the mailroom of the Department of Treasury to find out who it was sent to. I found out it was sent to every dean of every college. It was sent to every editor up and down the East Coast. It was sent to the CEO and every one of the directors from ABC, CBS, NBC. Now I'm starting to get mad. I then found out who it was sent to for ABC and NBC. I called their departments, and the conversation went just like this. Hi, this is Walter Burien calling from the Department of Treasury in New Jersey. We've been sending you our comprehensive annual financial report for the last 14 years. How many other states are sending you their